Just imagine this for a second. You're sitting there, looking up at the night sky. The moon is glowing like it always does, quietly orbiting Earth. Everything feels normal. But then suddenly, every space agency on Earth sends out an emergency warning. The moon has left its orbit, and it's heading straight toward the sun. At first, nobody believes it. People step outside. They look up, because this isn't just some random space event. This is a collision between two massive objects, one that gives our planet life, and one that has been watching over Earth for billions of years. But the real question isn't, will the sun and moon collide? The real question is, if these two cosmic giants actually crash into each other, what happens to Earth? Would the oceans go crazy? Would the sky turn into a giant ball of fire? Would humans survive? Or would we witness something so insane that the universe itself changes forever? Today, we're going to break down exactly what would happen. How powerful are the sun and moon? Really? First, we need to understand what we're dealing with, because the sun isn't just a bright ball floating in space. It's a massive star, a giant nuclear engine producing unbelievable amounts of energy every single second. The sun is so huge that you could fit around 1.3 million Earths inside it. Think about that. Our entire planet, all our cities, all our oceans, all of human history could disappear inside the sun like a tiny speck. The sun controls the entire solar system. Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars. Every planet is basically dancing around this giant star. But then there's the moon. Compared to the sun, it's tiny. But for Earth, it's incredibly important. The moon controls ocean tides. It affects the rhythm of nature. It has been part of human history forever. People wrote stories about it. Sailors followed it. Ancient civilizations studied it. But now imagine, what if the moon suddenly stopped following its path? What if it started moving toward the sun? The moon's final journey at first. Life on Earth would look completely normal. People would still wake up. Cities would still operate. The moon would still be shining in the sky. But scientists would notice something terrifying. The moon is moving, not around Earth anymore, but toward the sun. And space is not simple. Everything is moving. Everything is pulling on everything else. Gravity is constantly fighting with motion. And now that balance is breaking. As the moon gets closer to the sun's gravity becomes stronger. The moon starts entering a completely different world, a world of extreme heat, extreme radiation, and unimaginable pressure. The moon that once looked peaceful would slowly start changing. What happens near the sun? The closer the moon gets, the worse things become. The surface temperature starts rising. The rocks that survived billions of years begin to crack, then melt. The mountains on the moon, valleys, the entire surface would start falling apart. The beautiful glowing moon we see from Earth would become a burning space rock, a giant ball of destruction. And then comes the moment everyone wants to know about, the impact. The moment when the moon reaches the sun. What happens when they actually collide? So what happens? Does the sun explode? Does the solar system end? Surprisingly, no, because the sun is unbelievably massive. Compared to the sun, the moon is tiny. It would be like throwing a small rock into a huge ocean. The sun wouldn't disappear. The moon would basically become part of the sun. But that doesn't mean nothing happens. The impact could create massive disturbances on the sun's surface. Huge waves of energy could spread through space. Powerful solar storms could be created. And guess where that energy could travel? Straight toward Earth. What happens to Earth? Now this is the part that really matters. What happens to us? Would Earth instantly burn? Probably not, because our planet is still around 93 million miles away from the sun. That distance is enormous. But Earth would not simply walk away untouched. The first thing we lose is the moon. The same moon humans have looked at for thousands of years would be gone. No more moonlight. No more familiar night sky. The world would literally look different. But the bigger danger would come from the sun. If the collision caused extreme solar activity, Earth could get hit by powerful solar storms. And these storms aren't just pretty lights in the sky. They can damage satellites. They can disrupt communication. They can affect power grids. Imagine waking up one morning and the technology you depend on every day just stops working. No GPS, no communication, no normal modern life. What happens to humans? Now the biggest question. What happens to people? Humans are incredibly adaptable. We have survived ice ages, natural disasters, extreme conditions. But our modern world depends on a very delicate system. Food, energy, technology, communication. If those systems start failing, billions of people could face a completely different reality. A world where survival becomes harder and everything we built gets tested. Now here's the crazy part. This scenario is almost impossible. The moon is not heading toward the sun. It has a stable orbit around Earth. Actually, the moon is slowly moving away from Earth over time. So this is not something we need to worry about. But thinking about it shows us something important. Space is huge, powerful, and completely beyond anything humans experience on Earth. The universe is full of unbelievable events. Stars are born, stars die, galaxies collide, black holes consume entire worlds, and somewhere out there, the universe is constantly changing. Our Earth is just a tiny home, floating in an endless ocean of space, and maybe that's what makes it so special, because in this massive universe, this little planet is where our entire story exists.